you're gonna have to sit there in front of the mirror by yourself at the end of the day, and if you do not like who you're seeing, I'm sorry girl, you still have to be with yourself for the rest of your life. But the thing is, nobody knows what is the best next step for you. You could do everything that everybody else is doing and get everything that they have after doing that, but you won't know if that makes you feel fulfilled, happy, and aligned with who you are when you have those things until you have it. So you could be looking at your friend and they might be working towards being a doctor and a lawyer, and that's what your parents wanted for you all along, but growing up you knew that you want to be a hairstylist. You taking steps towards being a doctor and lawyer and all those things are, one, for sure going to feel wrong. Two, when you get those things like the house or the secure income and a nice family or whatever you were told those things promise you, you will not know how those things make you feel, bad or good, until you have those things. And so you won't be able to confirm or disconfirm what those people are saying until you do it. And so you're gonna spend this whole time working towards something that doesn't feel right, and then potentially in the end of all of that, it still doesn't feel right. So why don't you spend your time going towards something that actually feels somewhat enjoyable? Like if you want to be a hairstylist, go and take hair styling classes. See if it's for you. Going after something that you have a slight interest on is 100% better than going after something where you don't even know 100% that the final outcome is gonna make you happy. If you had the choice between going after something that might make you happy and you would be happy doing it along the way, compared to something that you would hate going after and you know you hate doing, but then in the end you're literally left with nothing, and so you can't go back in time and do the thing that you want to do. And also I feel like more so than just going down a specific path that's not aligned with something that you're passionate about and what you actually are interested in, I think it's important to also look at the ways and methods that you're going after your passions, because a lot of times when we choose to go after something, there's a set group of people that we perceive to be doing well in that same field. So for example, if I want to be a fashion influencer, there's people who are clearly doing it well and there's people who are not doing it well, and like it makes sense that we look up to the people who are doing it well and see that as guidance for how we should succeed in what we're doing. But that's something I've really been rethinking over time, because the thing that worked for Stephanie and Brad probably won't work for you. You might not feel good about going after things like Stephanie and Brad. For example, Stephanie and Brad makes fake friends on the weekend, literally only cares about numbers. They have let their health go, even though they look perfect online. They do not make that much money, but they're not telling you about it. Or they don't have any family members that cheer them on, and so that gives them that toxic energy to go after the things that they want, because that's the only promise of happiness and security that they have. You have no idea what people are going through and why they have those perceived resources or energy or whatever you see that you envy to do the things that they're doing, and why they're successful and how they actually feel as a person at this point, even with those external material goods. So even if someone has a bunch of followers and has a bunch of money, you have no idea how they feel and you have no way of measuring that. You can only really measure that on how they're showing you how they feel. So why would you risk doing things based on what other people are doing when they might not even feel that good about themselves? how you feel about what you do is how you feel about what you do. So I really encourage you and myself to check in if something even feels good to us. If there's a specific way that somebody is pursuing their aspirations, say they're buying followers, and on the surface they get more followers, right? And it seems like that's a good thing. But the thing is, how do you think they feel getting opportunities and money and sponsorships based on fake followers that they have to continuously buy to make sure that they uphold this image so that they can continue getting income and opportunities?
Like, that is actually so sad.
And even if you're like, okay, well, you know what, Nicole, like, I want to sell my soul to the devil, I am ready, girl. Like, you care too much about how you feel, I don't care about how I feel. And it's like, okay, fair, go ahead and do that. But that's not for me, because I just don't want to sit there making $1 million, being at the top of my industry and feeling like a complete fraud because the way that I got there literally was not aligned with any form of authenticity or what felt right to me. So really choose the person that you want to be. You can betray everyone and you can do things that, you know, don't necessarily make sense to other people, but you can't betray yourself. I truly believe that you can betray everybody else but yourself. And you're gonna have to sit there in front of the mirror by yourself at the end of the day. And if you do not like who you're seeing, I'm sorry, girl, you still have to be with yourself for the rest of your life. So make sure that you are doing things that feel right for you. I really encourage everybody to really not think that what everybody else is doing is the way to go, because you know what the way to go is for you. And you need to trust yourself, and I'm saying this to myself as well. I need to trust myself and trust that what I think is the right next step for me is the right next step for me. Nobody else is going to be able to tell me what it is. And just because something is working for someone else doesn't mean that it's what I should be doing and that it will work for me. I need to honor myself, you need to honor yourself, and I hope that from this video you're able to choose something that makes you feel alive and feel iconic. Iconic. One of my biggest goals is to help everybody become more of their authentic selves, because I found that I was faking my way through life for way too long and I am just not having any of it anymore. So that is the end of this video. I know I rambled a shit ton, but before you leave, make sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you need to contact me, please send me a message on Instagram under this name. And until next time, stay iconic.